Welcome back to Draft Bros and Alex. Today we're doing the top 25. We are already a week into college football, and for the most part, a lot of cupcake games, but there were some surprises. And that'll be shown in our top 25. How are we going to be doing this, Alex? How are we going to be doing it?
Just like our shows, we do it draft style because we're all about the draft because we are the draft bros. Or as the intro does, draft bros. So yes, we're going to be doing our top 25 draft style just to keep it fun. And that way we can ping pong ideas off each other and then create a completely unique top 25. That way also we don't have to repeat each other. So makes it easier.
Yeah. Basically, we're just going to be handing it off, alternating. One, you get one, I get one. I get one, you get two, I get three.
Okay.
So that's how we're going to do it.
You get one.
Go ahead. Hit that like button while you're at it before we get into it. Subscribe, and let's go ahead, get into this. I said I was number one, right?
Yes, you did.
Cool. I know you already hate this team, but I'm going to go with the Georgia Bulldogs. Let me drag them up here.
You're kidding me.
No, they have a soft schedule. They're going to run through the SEC, and yeah, I mean, it's business as usual. Was their quarterback Carson Beck? He looked good.
He looked pretty ugly, but as
is
a
it because he cut
quarterback,
his hair?
I don't know, dude.
He
PFF
literally cut his-
absolutely. Did you see PFF's picture of him? They violated him, like straight up violated. Everybody was like, "Dude, this guy's ugly." And I feel bad for the kid because it's just probably a bad photo. But
it is what it is. He did just get the haircut though, but hey, it's business as usual for this offense and this defense. So they're going to be included in this top four. At least they should be, regardless.
I have them at number 7. We'll put it that way. I have very little faith in them. I also have very little faith in the fact that 16 to 20 has this little ticker on it because it's still in editing mode and it's driving my OCD. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, so number 2. I think this is the exact same thing that happened last time. I'm going Florida State, who is my number 1 team in the country. You and I both believed in Keon Coleman. And, well, he's here, and people are now realizing it. You know, Johnny Wilson's my number 4 player in the draft. Don't know why he'll make the most beautiful catch in the world, but then drop the most easy. Don't get that. Let's get him on the jugs machine, and he's going to be a monster. But, you know, this team has all the talent in the world, and Jaheim Bell seemed like an afterthought, and they still just knew how to dominate a top-tier defense that misutilized their best player. But that's okay.
Yeah, big win over LSU, too. Big win.
Yeah.
All right, number 3 for me is going to be Michigan. They don't need freaking John Harbaugh for first 4 weeks of the season. They have a very light schedule, but
yeah,
Blake Corum looks good. Haven't seen him since the injury. That's a pretty darn good defense they have there, and with Ohio State kind of fumbling out of the gate, they look like it looks like they're the team to beat there in the Big Ten. Usually it's always between them two anyway, so it's like
yeah, that's fair. For me, I have Michigan at number 2, so I completely agree. We've already seen some ascension from their quarterback position in JJ McCarthy, which is good. Yeah, he looked good. I mean, granted, it wasn't against like top tier defenses, but the ball that he was throwing looked a lot more NFL caliber, which is awesome. It's so good to see that you can take that step up because he was kind of a loose cannon. So good to see that. Number 4, I am actually going to jump my number 3 team to give this team a shout out. It's the Penn State Nittany Lions, and they are here to kick some ass. Drew Allar is a monster. He is the exact type of player that they've been looking for to be able to unlock the potential they have. Similar to Michigan, they have a top-tier defense, and they're paired with a playmaker at the quarterback position. I'm a big Penn State fan. I'm a little bit biased on this one. They are my number 4 team, so it is what it is. But top-tier defense, they have a really good O-line. Right tackle still kind of crap, but, you know, we'll leave that to that. But as long as they run behind Olu when he's healthy, they'll be fine. And they have a great set of running backs, great set of receivers, and now a top-tier quarterback.
See, the only problem with the Big Ten, or at least for this year, because I think they go to like they're not going to do the divisions anymore.
Sure.
Is Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan all the same division?
Yep.
So we can never get a like a Penn State, Michigan, or Ohio State, Penn State, stinking Big Ten title game. I mean, I'm gonna have to jump my 4 team. Because I ain't about to have 3 Big Ten teams in this 1 through 5.
Did you seriously have Ohio State in the top 4?
I'm not gonna move them down. They were slow out the gates. They'll figure it out.
They sucked. The defense did good though. Defense did good. Their quarterback is ass.
It was the first game of the season. I'm not gonna overreact.
QB crap. O-line significantly worse. They are not a top 4 team.
Literally.
And I'm an Ohio State fan.
It's his first start.
I'm an Ohio State fan. Yeah. So my guy looked like he did not belong out there. He had a couple good throws. I'll give him credit. But compared for a top 4 team, they barely were. That was CJ
Hey,
Stroud.
give him a couple weeks to figure it out before you just abandon ship.
Do you think they're better or worse than Ohio State team last year?
I mean, they're probably worse, but you can say that about a lot of teams that lost.
14 last year.
Georgia lost Stetson Bennett.
That's why I have them at number 7.
Like Stetson Bennett.
I have them at number 7. That's why I don't have them at top 5.
Here. We could talk about Ohio State later. It's Texas.
Okay.
Texas is back. Not the most impressive showing against Rice. Only put up 37 on them. Mm-hmm. Probably could be a case of looking ahead to Alabama. They got to go to Tuscaloosa next week.
Tuscaloosa.
We know I can't pronounce words. But also, like, they did start resting the starters. Still won by 27. I'm not going to worry.
Yeah.
We'll see next week. But, I still have them as the Big 12 champions. Yeah. No, Oklahoma, man.
They did a good job. They did a good job.
They looked good.
I had Texas right behind Georgia at number 8. I dropped them a little bit, not because they did worse than I expected, but because some teams did better. So, no fault of their own. So starting off,
get over with it. Put Duke at 6.
Exactly. My number 3 team, which is going to be our number 6, is USC. Right where I had them last week. I think they're a stellar squad. Caleb Williams is proving that he's consistently amazing. And, I don't think I really need to say much more. The reason that they're not higher is because I don't fully trust their defense. But their defense hasn't been a liability so far.
Well, I mean, when your offense puts up 66, I mean.
You don't need to be. Yeah, you can be a liability all you want.
All right. Well, I'm going to put Ohio State here. I'm not going to worry too much, at least out the gate. They got it done. The defense still looked extremely good. And hey, if this offense still looks a little bit lethargic, few more games in the season, maybe hit the panic button. I'm not going to do that. Not yet.
They're worse than the team that was last year.
That's true for
they're
most
at the
teams.
Same spot.
It's literally true for most teams.
Not Florida State, not Michigan, not Penn State.
No, Penn State lost
USC.
Lost Sean Clifford.
Get out of here, dude. Okay, so my number 5 team, who's going to be our number 8, is Notre Dame. I think Sam Hartman is an amazing game manager who has really good upside. I mean, he's definitely an older prospect, but somebody I could definitely see stepping in, having that, Sean Clifford type of effect in the NFL where, he's able to stick to a roster and be a really quality backup. And then you have Audric Estime, who I think is a really quality running back. And then you have a good O-line as well. The rest falls into place. They have a defensive-minded head coach as well. So, the defense is going to be playing some good ball.
That's right. Speaking of good ball, I'm going to go with here at number, 9? I'm going to go with the team that's going to be facing our number 5, and it's Alabama. As soon as I could find, there it is. Was looking for just the A. They got a nice little circle here. They looked good in the opener. I mean, most teams will against Tennessee Martin, but it is what it is. Jalen Milroe looked good, though. He did. So I'm kind of excited. The defense looks like it's business as usual. They might be minus like Malachi Moore and I forgot who the safety is. It's like
Oh,
Jalen Maiden or whatever.
I
I can't
think it's
think of
Bateman.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, something like that. They might be
yeah,
missing him. They're currently listed as day to day, but
yeah.
they have a cupcake schedule. Their toughest games are all in Tuscaloosa. This one included.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, easy schedule. I feel like this is just made for Alabama to go face Georgia. Feels like
Yeah.
this every year, though.
I know. Very intrigued to see how that goes because I think both teams are significantly worse, but we'll see. I mean, it's finally starting to get a little bit competitive though. I don't see many juggernauts because we even see there's an Achilles heel with pretty much every single one of our top teams, which is nice. It's nice to see that there's actually some variability in college football. The number 10
It's
team,
true. Imagine when we have a 12-team playoff next year.
that would be so fun. I'm sorry. I'm a firm
I'm not.
believer
I
that's
think
fun.
that's too much. I think
I
16,
mean,
6 or
maybe like 6,
18.
maybe 8. I don't know, but I'm excited for it to be more than 4. Just because there's so many BS politics that go into the top 4, and it's just annoying. Regardless, my number 10, well, number 16, but our number 10 is Tennessee. I am a firm believer in Joe Milton. Have been, y'all know, and he showed out. He still
Oh,
his main issue.
against a very tough Virginia defense.
I mean, the best quarterbacks will still outperform well versus poor defenses.
I mean, yeah, you
And
should dominate lesser competition.
you
So
sh-
you're
you,
not
you
wrong.
should.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. Like it's not if you perform poorly, then we have something to worry about. I don't think he's like a massive stock riser. People just saw what we all know. He's a crazy powerful arm. He's been able to put it in really good spots, but his one main issue is that he keeps his front leg a little bit too out in front of him and too straight. So it leads to a lot of overthrows. And once he threw that potential pick over the middle, which wasn't a pick, it was a tip, he ended up actually calming down his accuracy a lot more and being a lot more mechanically fluid. He looked a lot better during the game. And then Tyler Barron is an absolute freak show. They have a lot of guys who are rising up on that defense. I'm a firm believer in Tennessee, who I have winning the SEC.
Not going to say I'd be shocked, but I'd be surprised at least.
I mean, we're pretty close here with Bama and Tennessee.
Yeah, definitely. I know. I would put them closer to like an LSU and an Ole Miss than I would to Bama and Georgia.
I'm a big believer, to be fair. So
yeah, I get it.
It's one of my teams.
I get it. Well, number 11 here is going to be the Quack Attack. It's going to be the Oregon Ducks, Bo Nix and company. Came out, looked good against Portland State, as they should. Put up 81 on them. Troy Franklin, hello. Oh, me liking what I saw from Mr. Troy Franklin.
But good.
Yeah, I think they're going to be contenders there in the Pac-12. I think the Pac-12 is just going to be a bloodbath. It really is. Because guess what? Utah, apparently they didn't need Brent, Kuthi, and Cam Rising to beat Florida.
Yeah.
Like, literally, beat the brakes off of Florida.
Yeah, the scoreboard didn't show how
It
dominant
did not.
that was. Like they kicked ass. My next team would have been Oregon, who's at number 9 on my board. So good for that. I'm gonna stick in the Pac-12 and go Washington.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, they're hitting on all cylinders. I was notorious. I mean, we both have our skepticism of Michael Penix because of injuries of the past. But even with poor lower body mechanics, this dude has a cannon for an arm. And if he's able to be a little bit more consistent, because he did miss another touchdown, which, I mean, he threw a billion touchdowns, but he did miss a wide open one. Then, he could be even more dominant. As long as he stays healthy, he's going to be a great QB. So I'm very excited to see that. I'm just a little bit worried about his health still. And, the guy showed out.
Yeah, I mean, he was healthy last season. Another healthy season will definitely, at least in terms of some people,
skyrocket it.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go to the group of 5 for this one, my friend. I'm going with the green wave of Tulane.
Wow,
dude, Michael Pratt went 14 of 15.
Yeah.
And let me tell you about his one incompletion. It was a dropped pass. 4 tutties. And you know what? He did this on a very respectable South Alabama defense. Like, no lie. Like, the Sun Belt defense, like, between South Alabama and Troy were really good last year, and they didn't lose much talent. So
Yeah.
like I don't want to just poo-poo and crap on those teams just because they're group of 5. So they came out, they handled business. Tulane, they get Ole Miss this week. That's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
I think they get Ole Miss though at home. Well, I'm going to go verify that real quick.
Okay.
You
Well, I
jumped
will
to
go for the
14.
next one. I was a little bit annoyed because I was hoping that SMU would play them this year, and we do not. So,
SMU's got a very favorable schedule this year too.
We do. But my next team
it is in New Orleans.
Okay, they have a chance for sure.
And but Jackson Dart looks like crap, and that won't look good for my take.
But we just talked about this team, Utah. Even without 2 of their primary starters, they looked good, and their backup QB looked really good.
Which one?
Which one? Yeah, I mean, both of them actually look pretty good. What's the kid's name?
Barnes. Something Barnes.
Barnes. Yeah, Barnes.
He looked
Barnes
solid.
Looked really good. So
and Nate Johnson was the guy with the legs.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Barnes. I think he could actually end up being a legitimate NFL quarterback prospect. So excited to see that because maybe it's not all through Cam Rising.
Maybe not, but when they get him back, though,
it's intriguing.
I don't know if it's bloodbath. It's bloodbath.
It is. I mean, look at this. We have so many teams: SC, Oregon, Washington, Utah, all in this range.
Yeah. What is that? 4?
Yeah, 4 in the top 14.
And I'm about to add our 4th Big Ten team right here.
Here we go.
Wisconsin.
Wow, really?
Yeah, dude. They were impressive. They had what? Didn't both Allen
you're talking about running backs, yeah.
Yeah, they both ran for like 130 yards. The offense
was over 140 each. Yeah.
It was a lot. Yeah. The offense was clicking. You love to see it. It's
what
Wisconsin.
happens when they stack the
box? Will be fine. Cool. They got
Who they play? Yeah. Exactly. Who'd they play?
Oh, somebody.
Yeah. Because I mean, to be fair, again, they played Buffalo.
What did I say?
I mean, let's see. Tanner Mordecai's stats: 189 yards, touchdown, and 2 picks. Don't think I'd be putting that in the top 15. But
hey, that offense isn't leaning on his arm. What happens when they stack the box and those teams still get run on? I don't know, man. I don't know.
No. Regardless, the next team I'm going to mention is Texas A&M, who's I believe he's a true freshman quarterback. Ended up actually showing
he
up
was a true freshman last year.
Yeah,
he played last year.
Okay, so their second-year starter came out, had a really good showing. Evan Stewart is a monster. Then they have Moose Muhammad and Ananias Smith as well. And they are just like loaded up on the defense with a bunch of 5 stars. They recruit better than anybody else. And, they were able to show out pretty well. So I still have faith in TAMU to remain in this range.
All right. Well, I'm going to go to the SEC for this one. Arkansas came out, looked the part.
Yeah.
KJ Jefferson, man, he is a low-key dark horse for the Heisman. He truly is. The defense played fantastic, by the way.
They have a good defense. Yeah, John Morgan. Gotta give you a shout out.
Dude, yeah. Morgan, you got him. You had, I think McLaughlin had a pick. Hudson, oh no, is it? I think it's Card, but I'm not positive. I can't remember his last.
That's the quarterback.
No,
that's the quarterback.
Oh, that is. Okay, I got you. That's the quarterback. Yeah. So maybe it's like Hudson Clark.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, because he made the transition from corner to safety. The dude moves. He flies. He had a pick. So yeah, man, I think Arkansas. They're gonna be contenders. Honestly, I would put them in Tennessee's range. I think them in like.
It's intriguing.
I know, man. I'm very excited for Arkansas. It's gonna be rough after they lose all this talent.
I know. I need to watch that game. Actually, that's one of the games I didn't get to. This
Limber just dominated at center.
Music to my ears. My number 2 interior offensive lineman, which we're gonna record soon. So you guys need to stay tuned for that.
It's gonna be a long night, Alex.
It's a long fucking night. But my next team is a team that got their ass kicked. But I think that it's a good way to get kicked in the balls early. LSU. Go Tigers. They have all the talent. They're just not using it properly. And you know what? I think
Alex?
Because they didn't put freaking Harold Perkins, their best player on the whole team, as a primary pass rusher. Malik Neighbors did a pretty good job, but
yeah, he did solid. Who was the other guy? Like Brian Thomas or something?
Number 11. He was the guy who got the walk-off touchdown at the end.
Yeah,
but good for him.
I mean, it all fell apart for them, like because they allowed like 31 unanswered.
Yeah,
like, they were competitive with that squad, so it's like
the first half it was very competitive, and it just well, to be fair, I don't know if it was LSU that changed. It was more Florida State and Jordan Travis that stopped being a complete moron. But it is what it is.
It is what it is. All right, so I'm gonna throw Kansas State up here. Now we actually have a logo for them.
Let's go.
Shout them out. They went out. They handled business. They're going to be contenders in that Big 12. Kind of a toss-up for me between them and Oklahoma right now. Oklahoma obviously had the more impressive outing, but you can't sleep on Kansas State.
Yeah. I'm going to jump a couple teams because they're still in my top 20, but I want to make sure they stay there. And I'm going to mention them because I feel like I deserve the right. Colorado.
The
Buffaloes. Yeah. They obviously Shadur, I was pretty big fan of him based on his, spring game tape, but God only knows if that was going to be able to translate. Defense still looks absolutely atrocious apart from Travis Hunter, which is a major concern. They got absolutely eaten alive, especially with the run game down the middle. They just kind of were completely obliterated on that front. But, don't test Travis Hunter. This guy's an absolute freak. Shadur Sanders obviously is proven to be a legitimate threat at quarterback. And, Dion, he knows how to use emotion as a major leverage to get the most out of his players. So great for him. He's proving that he belongs in college as a D1 coordinator.
Head coach. Well, we're just talking about Big 12 teams. So let's just go ahead and get Oklahoma out of the way here.
Good team. Yeah,
they're my team, man. They put up 73. They're in year 2 of Venables, so yeah, man. Let's see them get it done. I believe in them.
They're a good team.
They are.
Yeah. Oklahoma always. They've just slid off from when they were consistently top 5. But
yeah, and I feel like everything last year was kind of a benefit of the doubt. Dylan Gabriel went down. It was a first-year head coach, so.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of stuff that went wrong last year, unfortunately. But I was surprised that I'm the guy to name this team, who's number 16 on my overall rankings, Oregon State. So I know that you're a big
State.
Yeah, you love Oregon State. That's why I was quite surprised.
They would have been the next team I put up, but they would have been the second.
Okay. So for me, they're number 16 in my rankings. I am a massive fan of their right tackle, Taliese Fuaga. We have a video up on that, so I'm not going to labor us with a description on that. But DJ Uiagalelei did a good job, really good job. Granted, he faced absolutely no pressure because of Taliese, but that's beside the point.
And that 3-man rush.
But Taliese was the only guy not to get help on that, so he still balled out. I'm happy for him. Regardless, they played very, very well. They showed complete control over the offense and did a really good job on defense. They're a definite force to be reckoned with, have been, and are going to continue to be.
All right. We got to get North Carolina up in here.
Yeah.
They went in, handled business against South Carolina. It was very impressive. The defense looked so much better. You know what? I don't know if I give the defense too much credit. I think South Carolina's offensive line might just be that freaking bad. The one time I wanted to be like, you know what? Let's see what Spencer Rattler looks like in a clean pocket, and they didn't deliver a clean pocket for him, dude. He was constantly under distress. They couldn't run block worth crap. The offense was moving. It was rolling outside of a couple of, mistakes, I would say. By Drake May, but all in all, he was still hitting the big plays. Showed a lot of confidence in his receivers, and they were down there. Their 2 top receivers. Tez Walker wasn't eligible for the game, and we'll find out later this week if he's actually eligible for the season.
Yikes!
Well, no, it's because So, okay, it's not because of him. So it's because he's transferring to his third team, right?
Yeah.
But
So it's based depending on his.
But when he went to North Carolina, I think it's like Central or something, they canceled the season because of Rona. So he didn't play a snap for him. He was like, well, I want to play football. So he went to Kent State. And then becomes this big performer at Kent State, goes to North Carolina. They're like, that's your third team. And he's like, that was out of my hands. So
yeah, it's a weird one. Yeah. I definitely would have wanted to include North Carolina. They were my number 20 team. I'm going to go for my number 19 team. I'm going to jump over one of the other ones and go SMU, another ACC team, baby.
ACC, baby.
No, we are ACC now.
Not this year.
Yeah, not this year. We're going to be, which means we're going to lose the cooler teams. That's all I care about. I'll be able to come back as an alumni and be able to scout better players when we have home games. So that's cool. But, we have really good transfers and, we naturally have a high octane offense. The defense surprisingly showed up. Louisiana Tech is not a crap team. Like, they're not great, but they're far from an extreme liability like a Middle Tennessee State. No disrespect. But, we at least showed out versus an understandably respectable team that has created NFL draft talent.
All right. Well, I'm going to finish it off with the team I think had the most impressive win of the weekend. Just happened. I'm going to put Duke here. They kind of deserve to be after just demolishing Clemson in the second half, particularly. They took control of that game, never looked back. The defense played well. The offense, mainly when it came to running the football, they were just running over Clemson, and just an impressive win. Very impressive win. As you can see, Clemson not even on our top 25.
Clemson was 17 for me, but honestly, I think that Duke deserves it over him at this point.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Yeah. I'm kind of curious now because the door is now wide open for who will contend with Florida State. Like, you look at North Carolina, you look at Duke. Clemson's still going to be in the hunt. I imagine they bounce back in some.
Pitt could try to do something.
Yeah, and Phil Dracovic, man.
Yeah, it's definitely wide open, but we kind of know who's going to.
Didn't even mention the Hurricanes, but okay.
The U. We love the U. Even though SMU took pretty much the U from the U with like a billion.
It's the
SMU.
It's Miami in Texas.
Yep. That's Florida and Texas. That's where everyone wants to be, right?
Yeah. So how do you feel about this top 25?
Honestly, I like it. I really like it. The only teams I didn't get on here were Clemson, Ole Miss, Iowa, and I'm not against that at all. Honestly, I'm really happy how it turned out.
Clemson, but them losing is kind of a bit.
Yeah, that's embarrassing,
especially in that fashion. The only other team I don't have is Troy, which it's a group of 5 team. I understand. They allowed stinking Stephen F. Austin to put up 20 on them. So, granted, they put up 41, but
yeah. But to be fair, what team was it? There was a team that you put up here. Oh, Wisconsin allowed Buffalo to put up 17.
What did they put up? Like,
I think 37.
That sounds right. That's the number I was thinking of.
38-17. It was like the one thing I opened my phone to. It's like, let's go. But to be fair, I'm sure they weren't pressing on the gas pedal in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Oh wow. It was 7-7 at the end of the first.
Yeah, I know. I was seeing that.
It was a tie game. Yeah.
I saw the leading rusher wasn't Braylon Allen, so I was like, what the hell's going on?
I know. They have a really good running attack there. They always have.
Really do. Yeah, they've always had really good offensive linemen. They used to be O-line U, so.
Yeah, I know. That's the crazy thing. They've kind of dropped off a little bit, even though they had Joe Tippmann last year. But
yeah. All right, well, we got a long night, so let us know what you think in the comment section below. Who do we not include that you think should have been in the top 25? And all right, Alex, let's get ready for the rest of these videos tonight, baby.
Let's go.
Until next time, y'all be easy, our friends. Later.